I guess Mom and Dad thought it was just my imagination, like when I told them I had an invisible friend named Harriet when I was 5. Back then, I just wanted someone to play tea party with. But this was different. It started a few weeks after we moved into the new house. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, and my room would feel wrong. You know how it feels when someone's staring at you? Like that, but worse. I'd hear faint whispers, like they were coming from inside the walls. At first, I thought it was just the wind or maybe the old house creaking, but it always sounded like words. Almost like they were calling my name, Clara. Clara. The first time I told Mom, she gave me a kiss on the forehead and said, "Sweetheart, it's just a bad dream. New houses take time to get used to." Dad joked, "Maybe the ghost is just saying hi. You know, a house this old has to have some stories." They laughed, and I tried to laugh too, but it didn't feel funny. Then one night, I saw her. I woke up again, like usual, but this time, the air was colder than it had ever been. My breath came out in little clouds, like it does in winter. That's when I saw her standing in the corner by my closet. She was pale, with long, tangled black hair that hung like wet seaweed. Her eyes were too big for her face, and they looked empty. She was wearing a tattered white dress, and her feet didn't touch the floor. I couldn't move. I wanted to scream, but my throat felt frozen. She lifted a finger to her lips and made a shushing sound, and then she pointed to my closet. I don't remember anything after that because I must have fainted. The next morning, I told Mom and Dad everything. I described the girl and how she'd pointed to the closet. Dad sighed and put down his coffee cup. "Clara, you're almost 11. You're too old for these kinds of stories." Mom just looked at me with that worried face she makes when she thinks I'm not eating enough vegetables. But she was real. She was right there. I yelled. They told me I was stressed about the move and suggested I talk to a therapist. I don't need a therapist. I need them to listen. That night, I decided to prove it. I waited until it got really late. I stayed awake, even though every part of me wanted to hide under the blankets. Around 2 a.m., the whispers started again. This time, I grabbed my flashlight and aimed it at the closet. The door creaked open by itself. Inside, it wasn't just my clothes and shoes. There was a hole in the back of the closet, small and dark, like it led to somewhere else. I couldn't see where it ended, but the whispers were louder now. They weren't saying my name anymore. They were laughing. Low, cruel laughs that made my stomach twist. Then I heard footsteps behind me. I whipped around, expecting to see Mom or Dad, but it was her. The girl. She was closer this time, her face inches from mine. She opened her mouth, and I swear I saw bugs crawling inside. She whispered, "They'll never believe you." They never do. I screamed and ran out of my room, banging on my parents' door. They were mad at first, but when I told them about the hole in the closet, they agreed to check. Dad grabbed a flashlight, and we all went back to my room. But when we opened the closet, the hole was gone. Just solid wood where it had been before. "Clara, enough," Mom said. "This isn't funny anymore." Dad looked frustrated, but mostly tired. "Let's all get some sleep. We'll talk about this in the morning." But morning came, and nothing changed. They think I'm making it all up. Even when I showed them the scratches on my arms from where she grabbed me last night, they said I must have done it to myself in my sleep. I don't know what she wants, but she's not going away. Last night, I found a note on my pillow. It wasn't in my handwriting. It said, "Come play with me, Clara." After that, I started doing research. I asked my neighbor, Mrs. Jenkins, about the house. She told me a family used to live here, but their daughter, Lydia, went missing a long time ago. She said Lydia was last seen playing in her room, but when her parents checked, all they found was an open closet door and a strange, dark hole. Nobody ever found her. That's when I realized the ghost was Lydia. She was trapped, and she wanted me to be trapped too. I knew I had to make my parents believe me. One night, I left my phone recording while I slept. The whispers, the sound of the closet door creaking open, and finally, Lydia's chilling voice saying, "Come play with me, Clara," were all caught on tape. When I showed it to Mom and Dad, they couldn't deny it anymore. Mom turned pale, and Dad didn't say a word for a long time. We packed up and left the house the next day. I don't know what's going to happen to Lydia, but I hope she finds peace someday. As for me, I don't think I'll ever forget her empty eyes or the way she whispered my name. I just hope she doesn't follow me.
Like, subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell icon to never miss a scare.